What's up, everybody? Hope you are doing all right, man. I got a hell of an episode for you. I have one of the pioneers of Dolphins YouTube. Back in the day, um, there was a panel on Tuesday nights, and this next guest was the straw that stirred the drink. So, if you want to see who's she'll be on right after this, baby. Don't go away now.
Shake, 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 yeah. Shake, 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 shake. Shake money in the place. Miami plays, Miami days, and the blender was shaking his friends. We're gonna talk about the Fins again. Miami plays, Miami days, and the blender was shaking his friends. We're gonna talk about the Fins again. Is you a fan or a troll? Are you trying to wish us good? Trying to take control. Bringing problems to the hood. What takes your soul? Miami Dolphins bring the wood. Super Bowl is the goal. Tyreek Hill. I'm trying to kick it with Shake. You gotta be a real fan. No pretenders and fakes. We're gonna open up the line. Come correct with your takes. If you step into us blind, we're gonna show you the way. Miami plays, Miami days, and the blender was shaking his friends. We're gonna talk about the Fins again. Miami plays, Miami days, and the blender was shaking his friends. We're gonna talk about the Fins again. Never want the season to end. Mix it up a little with gin. And I remember when I knew that the Dolphins would win. Yeah, rockin' with Shake, rockin' with Shake. Let's go. I never want the season to end. Never. Mix it up a little with gin. That's right. Pass it off to one of my friends. Yeah, rockin' with Shake, rockin' with Shake. Larry K. What up? Phin-Addicts. TFTG. The tailgate. Miami Dolphins, baby. What up, Lou? Shake money. Crypto. Check it. Me? God bless y'all. Miami Dolphins #1. And we out. Miami Dolphins football. The greatest football team. We push the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. Respect us.
What's going on? Hey, listen, everybody in here has heard of TD. Me trying to introduce TD into Dolphin fans is like trying to introduce my wife to her sister. Everybody knows who she is. He is. But this next guest, I remember when TD, before he started doing StreamYards, he started doing phone calls. And the first time I heard Pete, the first time I heard Mr. Ballgame, and the first time I heard this, actually, everybody heard me the first time they heard me, but the first time I heard this, my next guest, and I'll never forget that phone call because they were talking about Kenyon Drake versus Kalen Balaj. What's up, Tony? And I'm confused. I thought you were like, Kenyon Drake being he's a fellow Roll Tide, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get to that. Let me welcome the queen of YouTube, queen of Dolphins, the one, the only, Phinsanity 5. I am honored and blessed to have you on this program. Thank you so much.
You honor me too much, but hi Shake. Thank you for being patient with me. You've been trying to get me on for a while, and you've been patient, and I really appreciate it. And it's actually become one of my favorite shows. So I'm actually honored to be here. So let's get into it. I'm in the blender now. It's crazy. Oh, and shout out to
what's up. Yeah, man. Look, at the end of the day, when it's time, it's time. You know what I'm saying? I've tried to be persistent, but at the same time, not be a pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, really. You're not the only one, but I am truly honored to be here, and thank you for such a wonderful introduction. I really appreciate it.
By the way, I love to see you first thing in the morning with Miss Fins, the #1 Dolphin morning show.
Oh yeah, that's my friend. Man, listen, Miss Fins is a real one. I can not say anything, but positive things about her. She was someone who was trying to get me on, and when I left, she was just someone who became more of a friend, checked in on me every day. It wasn't, hey, I want you for this show or whatever. It was just, hey, how are you doing? Like, how's your day going? How's your life going? And that's how we became, closer. And I have nothing but positive things. She is who she is, and she's 100% real. And That's my homie. Like, I cannot wait. We're supposed to be going to a game together this year and
Oh,
finally
no doubt.
meeting. So shout out to that. Pray that we get these San Francisco tickets, later. So hopefully me and her can go to that game together. We can
Oh,
bless
no
her with
doubt.
that.
Hell yeah. And full disclosure, I'm gonna send her all the transcripts with the timestamps and everything. So
Oh,
whatever
she
take you
already
make.
knows. We already talked about it. I already told her. I said because we both entered the contest, and I told her, I said, listen, if I win the San Fran tickets, we're going together. Caveat to that is that game is on my mother's birthday,
Uh-huh.
but my dad told me that they might be going to that game, so there might be a way to work that out. God will, have a game plan. So hopefully
Hell
all
yeah.
that comes together if I can still be there. But if I
No
do get the
doubt.
tickets and my parents don't go, I'll probably just give them to her. I'm not going to miss my mom's birthday for anything. I mean, I'm really big on family, so either way, she'll be at the San Francisco game. So shout
Cruz
out to her.
Ruiz.
Oh, Cruz is here. Shout out to Cruz.
Yeah.
Real cool guy.
So
Shout out. Go ahead.
before we get to the brass tacks,
Hmm.
let's talk about a little about MetLife takeover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Okay. So
what have been your experiences, especially now that I found out that your brother is a Jets fan?
oh man, listen, my brother being a Jets fan, that came out of left field. Like one day back when Mark Sanchez was the quarterback, he believed so much in Mark Sanchez coming out. And obviously they had that little bit of run. So he thought he was right and then he realized he was wrong, but at least he finally stuck to a team. But the MetLife Takeover is absolutely amazing, ran by Dolphin NYC. They really take care of the fans. They have a meet and greet the night before at a pub, which is awesome. They also make sure that everyone has transportation to the stadium. They also provide food, an amazing tailgate, all the libations, if that's what you're into. I'm not into it, but if that's what you're into, that you can have and want. And it's just great. Solo D comes every year. You have so many actual fans from Miami come up, which is amazing. And I always call it the Mecca because who's our biggest rival to me? The Jets. So I feel as if there's a takeover to go to, I know Tony advocates for the Bills takeover, but I'm always going to be, from Jersey, so it's always going to be a MetLife takeover.
Oh yeah.
When I've gone as of recently, we've won. The first time I ever went, we lost. That was Flores' first year, right before, during the quote unquote tank season. And I just remember being truly upset when they called that defensive pass interference on Nick Needham.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't pass interference, but outside of that, it's always been good. It's positive vibes, positive interactions, and I can't say anything other than you need to come. I know it's
Yeah.
cold sometimes, but you need to come. It is truly
I'm making my
truly a
way,
treat.
man. Larry Case from Jersey.
Yeah.
You got Dudley Durong, and what's funny is they all the people from the fans, the Dolphin fans that are from Jersey, have the same sentiment of the Jets being the team they hate the most because they're in that territory. Like for instance, look at the Hurricanes. Okay, I'm a Florida Gator fan, and the reason I find I hate the Hurricanes the most out of all those teams is because I used to live in Miami, and I was surrounded by the Canes fans. So if I grew up where it was, like for instance where I'm living at now, it'll probably be Georgia or FSU. But because where I grew up, that what I'm saying that so
How do you because Shake, you were there. Sorry, you were alive when the Canes were that squad, like when they were that team. So how do
you
you
know.
not are you from northern
No,
Florida?
I was born and raised in Carroll City, Florida, North Dade.
So
I
how
grew
do you
down.
not like
I was
the
born and
Canes?
raised down the stadium for the Dolphin Stadium.
And you don't why not? Like where did this disconnect happen? Like it's not as if they were
Well,
bad.
well, check this out. So, um, yes, I am. I am the enemy. But anyway, so what happened was I grew up when I was growing up in Miami in high school. I didn't really start watching football until I was in high school. High school football is what made me fall in love with the sport of football. And then around that time, that's when you had Danny Warfel, Steve Spurrier. So that's and one of the teachers that I had that I admired the most used to play for the Florida Gators, and so that's kind of how it was. Kind of like yeah 100 I grew up off of 199th Street. Yep, and 47th Avenue. So yeah.
Your teacher
Oh
made
yeah,
you
I
Florida
fell in
Gators
love with the sport of football in my when I was in high school. through high school football because I was attending the high school football games, and I tell you what, I was at the mecca of Florida sports, which was Trask Powell Stadium.
Okay.
So a lot of people, I seen Santana Moss play. I seen Nate Webster
Y'all
play.
spoiled down there. Y'all spoiled. Y'all are very spoiled with all the talent that comes out of Florida. I remember, not to interrupt you, I remember my first Florida high school football game that I saw, and I said, "What is this?" Like, I had never seen high school football played at such an elite level. Like, I saw it with my brother playing, but I'm never going to shade him. He was an amazing running back, but that was different. That was on a
Yeah,
whole
Carroll
different
City
level.
Chiefs. Yeah, my first the best rivalry game I've been to. It was back when I was in high school. I hate to sound like an old man back in my day, but back in my day, Northwestern and Carroll City were the first games of the season, regular season. So that was a big rivalry. Then again, Northwestern and everybody was a big rivalry. So Carroll City and Northwestern was always the game opener. And the biggest game I've seen between the two was at the Orange Bowl 1995 for the semifinals championship, Carroll City versus Miami Northwestern. So, I mean, it was I don't remember that because I was half drunk. But other than that, yeah, I know. My buddy was in a wheelchair, and we got to sneak. So nobody checks the guy in the wheelchair. So we snuck all the liquor in his chair.
Hey, you gotta use what you got to get where you need to get to, right? So, hey, that's an interesting tidbit. I don't.
But
I
yeah,
don't
look,
that.
Lewis
That is a
said
nice
he ended
fact.
the space because he wasn't going to miss this. So shout out to Lewis.
Shout out to Lewis. He's the one who recommended me. Correct. He's the one who said
Correct.
to
Yeah.
have me on here. So, oh my God, Color, one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crypto's here. Wow,
Crypto's
Chef
in the
Juice
building.
here. Wow. I feel loved. Thank you guys for all showing up. Like, I really appreciate that. I really do.
S.
So,
Harris in the building.
Oh, S. Harris. Yo, thank you guys. That's all I can say is thank you, and I can't say thank you enough. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough. So,
Mhm.
what was your favorite MetLife Takeover game?
My favorite. Oh man, I would say I would have. You know what? A lot of people would go with the win, right? I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with my first one because it really showed me what it was truly all about. And seeing all the Dolphin fans being out there, even in a season that we're just trying to fight. We're just trying to win, and we're finding ways to win with underneath Brian Flores, which was truly amazing. Like 2019, I don't think people appreciate that season enough. I truly appreciate it, especially
Michael K is in the
being able
building
to.
too, by the way.
Oh, shout out to Michael K. Oh my gosh, Jesus. Me and Michael K have a love-hate relationship. It depends how I'm talking about the Bills that day. But yeah, it would have to be my first one because like to have so many Dolphin fans come out in such a season that we were having that year. Remember, that was like in the back end of the schedule. So we kind of already knew where the fates lied at with our team. It was no sugarcoating. We were a horrible team that year, but we were a horrible team that found a way to win games. And hey, I would have to say that one. I would have never advocated as hard as I do for a MetLife takeover had I not gone to that game. Even though the result wasn't what I wanted, I'm truly appreciative of the experiences, the people that I met, and just being able to be around other like positive Dolphin fans, just people who want to, what's it? And it was cold. And like, you can go back to TD's footage. I mean, we were trying to like simulcast it, like me there. And listen, that interaction led to TD and Solo D meeting for the first time, kind of. And now we have Throw Them Fins Up, which is an anthem amongst, this fan base. So,
Oh yeah,
a lot of good things came from that. So I'll take that.
Yeah. If you watch TD's live stream during the football, and ever they score a touchdown, he plays that song. Throw them fins up, throw them fins up. Yeah, I got to meet Solo D. Solo D is a cool dude, man.
Yeah, you want to know something funny? I remember I got to hear the song before it dropped, and I got to hear
that's what's
TD's
up.
verse. And when I heard it, I was like, I said, that's going to be a hit. I said, that's going to be an anthem. That's going to be a banger. And then to hear that he went into the booth, did it in one take, shows the man is truly talented. So, but it was actually fun. Like I still have the MP3 version of it that he sent to me. So got a little piece of Dolphin history right there, I guess.
That's what's up. Hell yeah. So, all right, now here's a $1 million question. You being from Jersey and an Alabama fan, how did
Yeah.
you become a Miami Dolphins fan?
Oh man, yo, listen. So this is gonna be a non-emotional story. I'm a Dolphin fan because my dad's a Dolphins fan. I'm a daddy's girl through and through, 100% wholeheartedly. My mom will tell you that she even has to concede that one. We call each other twins because I resemble him a lot more, but I was blessed with my mother's smile. And I remember when my dad got DirecTV and then it was Sunday Ticket. And it was every Sunday we were watching the game. And every now and then he would just throw out some random trivia to me. And he'd be like, who's the Dolphins all-time leading passer? And I'm like, Dan Marino, of course. And then the questions got harder, but he was actually formulating Phinsanity before I even knew that I would become this person. And I remember my dad's a pastor, so shout out to him for that. Love him for that. Amazing
Mhm.
man. So every Sunday, right, I would be looking at the clock because I did not want to miss kickoff. Like you think, no, it's just kickoff. I did not want to miss kickoff. And my mom is such a social butterfly that she's talking to everyone in the church, and I'm just looking at her like, hey, we gotta go because our church is a drive from where we live. And we would literally always get there like right on time, like as the ball is being kicked. But it comes down to simply my dad. He watched them every Sunday. And I mean, when we go through the like mid to late 2000s, it was so funny to me. My dad, he would watch the first 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter, we would have a lead. And he would literally go outside and mow the lawn. And I'm like, Dad, where are you going? I'm like, we're going to win this game. He's like, we're going to find a way to blow it. And I'm like, nah, Dad, we're going to win this game. And I would go out there and he would just look at me and he would just smile. And I'd be like, yeah, you were right. And most men, mow their lawn on on Saturday so that they can watch. So my dad was like, I'm not watching the fourth quarter collapse. We can get to the fourth and have a lead, but
No doubt.
nah. And there were a lot of a lot of remotes thrown from my dad. He is a very passionate fan, and he's like an encyclopedia. Like if you ever want to have another guest, like you want to talk Dolphin stuff, I would say Sis 007 because you want to talk. You can pull any game from probably the 70s to current, and he can tell you about it, like play by
Hey,
play, stats, everything. He's like Rain Man when it comes to the Dolphins. So that's how I became. That's how I became a Dolphin
I
fan.
tell you
Just
what,
watching all of that.
if you could make it happen, I would love to have that happen.
I mean, I could talk to him. We'll see. He's not
I
really
mean,
big
I
on.
mean,
Yeah,
again, just like
yeah.
with you, if it happens, it does happens. If it doesn't,
I
you know,
got you. I got
you
you.
know,
Yeah,
no pressure.
absolutely.
Trust me, I have plenty of guests I can interview. No
Yeah,
pressure at all. I'm just
got you.
saying though, if you can make it happen, I would love for that. But again, no pressure.
I'll try my
Just so
best.
you
I'm
know
pretty
that,
sure he would love to do
no
it.
pressure.
He loves talking about the Dolphins anyway. So if it gives him a reason to talk about them, that's his thing. So yeah,
That's
go
what's
ahead.
up. No, but I do want to say that the next week I'm going to have I confirmed um Dolph Freaky Alley Goodman
Shout
Dolph
out to Dolph
Freaky.
Freaky. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on. She was on here last year. And the reason I'm having her on again this year is because I met her a few times. You know what I'm saying? She's a great person, and
Absolutely.
she's you guys became Dolphin fans in a similar fashion because she
Oh,
said the only way she was gonna, because she's a daddy's girl too, and she
yeah.
said the only way that she was getting quality time with her dad was when on Sundays watching the Dolphins.
I would I wouldn't say that. My dad is
I'm
very
not saying, but
yeah, nah.
for her case,
But
in her case,
oh yeah, but yeah, that was my dad's team, and it's very interesting because we're from South Jersey, so a lot of those people are Eagles fans. You got some Cowboys and stuff like that, but I remember, and like if people talk to this and attest to this, there are a lot of Dolphin fans in New Jersey. Like we are really out here deep. And I remember I went to school with this one guy, and I'm looking at his truck like senior year, and I see like a Dolphins decal on. I'm like, "You're a Fins fan?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yo, Fins up!" And he's like, "Fins up!" And like started a friendship like right there, but yeah, we out here. We out here in North Jersey, South Jersey, Central Jersey for, people who claim Central Jersey, which is not a thing. But go ahead.
So I think the only thing that you like from Jersey are the Devils.
All right. So let me be honest. Let me be honest. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So when I was younger, I'm not trying to give my age out too much. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? I was a Nets fan. When they were the New Jersey Nets, of course, I was a Nets fan, but that's back when they had a squad. You feel me? Like Richard Jefferson, Vince, Kidd, Kenyon, and then it went downhill. And that's why I tell people, like, hey, man, once they left Brooklyn, like I kept an eye on them. You feel me? Like when they were still in Jersey, but I wasn't really watching them like that. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie and just say like, oh, I was like the diehard. I wasn't a diehard Nets fan. Yeah, Allen Iverson killing it in Philly, which is closer to me than what the Nets are. So I liked Allen Iverson as a player. I liked what the Nets had as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But when it like all settled, I became a diehard Heat fan because I was a diehard Dolphins fan, and I said I might as well just kind of tie it all together. It wasn't like I can talk to you about the 1980s Heat. No, I'm not about to sit here and lie and say, "Oh man, I was leading, Heat culture for the." No, I was not. I am one of those people who became a fan when Dwayne Wade started tearing up the league. And like that's my true honest story. And that's what I'm sticking with.
No
Anything
doubt.
from Wade on, I got you with. Anything before that, I did not go back and look at it. I know players'
No
names,
doubt.
I know jerseys, but I'm not going cap. I'm not gonna, sit up here and lie and be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I watched
my
that
favorite Heat
team.
was Tim Hardaway, even though he came from the Golden State Warriors. But Tim Hardaway, I would say, was my favorite Heat player of all time. That and Glenn Rice. Glenn Rice was a true Heat. And unfortunately, we had a trade. We traded Glenn Rice, but we got Alonzo Mourning. So
It worked
you know,
out. It worked out for you guys,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Because he's like
I still a big Glenn Rice fan. I got his rookie card.
really.
So any route. Let's talk about the schedule release. What did you think about the schedule release?
Well,
What kind of
the
matches?
actual release, the video was horrible. But I understand the creativity behind it. I guess if you want to say creativity, but the structure of it, I absolutely love. There's not too many things that I would change on that schedule. Um, Personally, I know people say we end with a gauntlet, and I love it. I love being able to go out and play in the cold. And even when Mike McDaniel said, we have a chance, another chance to, change the narrative. And he's always like, adversity is an opportunity. Yeah, we have to show that we can go into the cold and that we can win games. And no better way to do it than the way that they, put our schedule. I like the fact that we get a lot of primetime games. However, that does kind of hinder me from going to some of those games since my life is up in here, like up here in Jersey. But it shows that the league is recognizing that the Dolphins are a contender. We're
Yeah.
not we're not just some fad right now, right? Like I feel like the Wildcat was a fad. We didn't get primetime games off of the wild card. I mean off of the Wildcat, you feel me? Um and I think that it shows that the NFL wants to showcase us as a team. We have to go out there and Dad, stop. I love you, Dad. But we have to go out there and show that we can beat these teams and compete. I do not, and I was thinking about this, right? I was thinking about like how many offensive rosters are actually really good. And the Miami Dolphins, yes, are one of those good offensive rosters, but we're not the only one out there. I'm very interested to see what Weaver does. I like that we have a more veteran secondary, especially with Javon coming into like hopefully his prime. We'll see where things go with him, contractually. Um, but I think for the most part, I feel like our schedule is a perfect test. It allows us to catch our stride early.
Mm-hmm.
We get to face a top divisional adversary early. And the fact that we don't know what they are going to be offensively, how much chemistry that they will actually have. Shout out, nod to the Dolphins for that one. I'm really looking forward to going to that game. I really want us to beat Buffalo. Like if there's any game on the schedule that I want to Buffalo. But the middle of it, I think, is very, very sound. You get teams that I feel like it can go either way, and I feel like the Miami Dolphins, we typically either blow out teams, right? Or it's just a case of bad luck, I guess. We can call it the Eagles game for the penalties. It is what it is. We shouldn't have committed the penalties that we committed. Hey sis, I'm guessing that's my sister. I don't know if that's my sister, but if it is my sister, hey sis. If not, hey Diamond. We have to show that we can finish games, and I think that's the next step. Actually finishing games. We did it against the Cowboys. Not so much in other, games where we came out in the second half. Our defense is getting stops, but our offense just isn't clicking. We got to really get it together, and I think that the fact that we've had these 3 years, there now has to be a game plan. There has to be a set of plays that are your go-to plays to say, you know what? We need a score here. We need to get this offense going. We got to get back in rhythm, find a way to do it. I'm sorry, my sister's probably watching me for the first time, so this is like really like emotional.
That's what's
like
up.
I'm not going to get emotional, but yeah, that's what we have to do. We have to show that even with everything that we have, there has to be an answer. We can't let teams dictate to what we can do. An injury against a team that we should beat regardless should not stop us from getting that goal. And that all comes down to the whole team executing, the whole team doing their part. And I think that there have been times, like we could say in the beginning, the offense did their thing. They were scoring high. The defense would only need to maybe get a couple stops, and we were good. Then the defense, they were doing their things. They were getting stops. They were getting us the ball back. But the offense that is supposed to be the high-scoring offense, that's supposed to be unstoppable, looks like they're running on a half-empty tank. And I'm just interested to see where we take this to the next level with all the playmakers that we have on this squad, both offensively and defensively.
All right. So we kind of touch this backstage. So being, I used to watch you on Tuesday nights, and I know that big advocate. By the way, there's a game I play, Spider-Man for the PS4, right?
Okay.
And there was a certain mission. It was like a side quest. You know how you have side quests, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I never forget the certain side quest that I was playing for a long time. And while I was playing that side quest for the first time, I listened to a certain young lady do her first solo episode. It was a preview against, it was 2019, a preview versus the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens, yeah. Bad lighting on that one, but yeah.
Yeah, and what's funny is every time I play that side quest, no matter, I played it a few times after that, I still memorize that episode that you did.
Thank you. Oh,
so
yeah.
So I remember where I was and what I was doing when you did that episode. Because I usually do YouTube when I do shows. Like I never watched the Tuesday night panel live. I always saved it for the next day whenever I had like a commute.
Yeah.
So I could have something to listen to in the background.
We kept you entertained, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, I always it wasn't on demand. So I mean, I never caught it live. Like I said, I always saved it for like if I had a long trip or something like that. I'm like, okay, good. I got something to listen to, But anyway, I say that to say this. I know defense is your wheelhouse. You're a defensive person. So if you were the Dolphins defensive coordinator with the weapons that we have, what kind of defense would you be running? Would you like to run to be more efficient?
So recently I have really been spoiled with some really good defense. Going back to the aggression of Flores with the 0 at times a lot of people didn't like it, but what Vic did was serviceable. It kept us in games and it kept us competitive outside of what happened in Baltimore. We don't have to go down that track. And he, once he got all of his personnel back, we were doing pretty well. Man, listen, when I grew up, I'm gonna say this, right? Paul Soliai was my guy, right? Like just
Oh yeah.
big defensive tackle, no tackle, nothing was getting past him, right? We just lost Chris, which is not too sad about. I mean, players come and go. I'm used to it now being a Dolphin fan for so many years. I would have to say that with what we have, as long as we have a predominant man concept, that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, we have a more veteran secondary. I do hope that we have the ability to create organic pressure. And for me, I personally am looking forward to seeing what Weaver can do in a 3-4, right? I'm looking forward to see what personnel we have out there once we're healthy. I'm expecting hopefully guys like Chop to come in and maybe shake the room a little bit, right?
Mhm.
I would love to be able, no offense, to flip Bradley for something because we have these two young guys coming in. For me, I think I truly believe that Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller outside can absolutely man up the 1 and 2 for each team, right? Like a lot of teams have a 1 and 2 now. It's not so far fetched, right? And I think interchangeably. So like, whereas where we used to have, Stephon Diggs, I don't want to say hiding in the slot, but moving into the slot and taking advantage of Nick Needham that 1 year. Lord help me, Jesus, those crossing routes still give
Mhm.
me nightmares, right? I think the development of Cater and maybe what we may or may not see from Cam Smith, right? A lot of people have said a lot of wonderful things about him. I have not seen him, so I can't speak on it. Like I've only heard word of mouth. I would love to see man across the board. You got Jordan Poyer, who has an immense knowledge of
Mhm.
how routes are ran. So I feel like with him and Javon in the blanket, nothing gets behind them. We should be able to be really good. Now you have Zach, right? You got
Well, let me
Zach.
ask you this real question, real
Sorry,
quick.
I'm trying to break it down a little bit. I'm sorry.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
sorry, but no, I just have a little question, kind of
Mhm.
wrinkle in. How do you know? So do you don't think that Cam could outplay Fuller as the number two?
I think he listen. I think he can. Like I said, I've never seen him, so I can't speak on what I haven't seen. I've only
Okay,
heard about how
fair enough.
other people have seen him. Like I haven't been to a training camp in like I think the last 2 seasons. So what everyone saw out there, right? They have been 100% convinced that Cam Smith should have been out on the field last year, right? And I hey Ziggy. And I 100% believe that he can do it. Like I'm not going to limit someone, right? But it's out there for you to go out there and compete for and to take, right? Now, am I more prone to maybe play a veteran guy who understands maybe the concepts a little bit more? Maybe. But if
Okay,
Cam can go out there and truly beat out Kendall Fuller for that position, especially if we're going to be playing man and Cam can do it, yeah. But if now we're talking about zone concepts and we're talking about, hey, you need to be back this deep, is Cam disciplined enough to understand where his zone and area is? My
okay,
question is, I understand that, Vic may have been a prude to some, right? But I don't think that he is so much of a prude that he would have done anything to hinder the productivity of his defense. You understand what I'm saying? I don't
yeah,
think he's that stubborn. And I also think that it might have been a help to that young man's career, right? Just being able to focus on, strength. One of the most important things, especially if you're going to play a man or even press man or anything like that, you can't be getting beat on the line of scrimmage, right? So to be able to build that up, get adjusted to the speed, the physicality of the game, right? There is a difference. We have a guy that we brought on our team last year, thought he was going to be an amazing cornerback, got thrown into the gauntlet of the Giants and has now jumped around the league and Ohio State, right? I'm not going to, call people's names out because I don't want to, do a disservice to anybody, right? Ohio State, first round pick, cornerback, supposed to be the next best thing, and he got thrown into the fire too fast. So when we look back at it, of course, if Cam comes out and he's looking amazing, we knew he could do that. but it does not take away the fact that maybe some of it being able to sit back, learn, truly understand, because defense, if one person is not on the right assignment or not on the same page, it's a touchdown. Like quarterback sees it, it's a touchdown. And you don't want to have, any forms of miscommunication. And the fact that we were able to exhaust so many pieces and he never saw the field, I hope that he gets to see the field. He's one of our draft picks, and I hope that, some of the things that they said about him isn't necessarily true. And if they are, hopefully he's cleaned them up and he's ready to go. Listen, if you're one of the guys on the field, I want your best. I'm not gonna, if you're on my team, I want to have all belief and, hope that, you're going to be good. Like I'm still praying for Liam Eichenberg. I know a lot of people, bash him and stuff, but we survived years of Jesse Davis. So if we can survive years of that, I think we might be okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
With Liam, at least it's not on the outside. You feel me? Where you just getting tore up, and our quarterback is one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. So that's what I'm gonna go with. We'll see.
Let me ask you this a little off topic. What did you think of Josh Boyer's performance as defensive coordinator McDaniel's first year? Him with, because at the end of the day, look, the first year of McDaniel, I equate Josh Boyer to McDaniel, because at the end of the day, when Josh Boyer was great, is because he had the how can I say, he had Brian Flores to bounce, to kind of lean on for advice, and same thing with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel had Kyle Shanahan when he was in San Francisco to bounce ideas off of. So they both had. So you look at their first year together, there was no net for neither one of them. Josh Boyer didn't have Brian Flores to console him, or McDaniel didn't have, Kyle Shanahan. So they both were cut from the string. You know what I'm saying, if you will.
Yeah. I think Boyer was kind of more of a continuity piece, because Mike had to predominantly focus on his first task, which was how are you going to make Tua better, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that was one of the questions, you kind of understood that was his job and assignment, to make Tua, to turn Tua and develop Tua into, being the franchise quarterback. Boyer comes in. I think it's more continuity because he's like, hey, I can't shake up too much things. Hopefully the defense can still be, as good. And I think at that time we were still fairly young, and we still had some, pieces to puzzle in, I guess you would say.
Yeah, Critical, who's rookie year, undrafted rookie,
Yeah.
And he didn't have his number 2 corner, which back was at the time Brandon Jones.
Brandon.
He kind of for injuries, but
Wait, Byron, right?
No, Byron Jones.
Byron, yeah. I'm like Brandon's
Byron
safety.
Jones. Sorry, wrong Jones.
Yeah, Brandon's our safety. I'm like Brandon. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Man, listen. If injuries had a plague, they definitely know how to find the Dolphins. I'm gonna say this, and not say this respectfully. I don't think he did a bad job. I don't think he did a good job. I think he did his job, but I don't think it was necessarily the right guy for the job. And it's not his fault. The Dolphins, for what it's worth, I try to give that coaching staff, through the turnover and everything, a little bit of grace, because a lot of things were going on. And as you said, you can bounce things off of Flores and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the way you play for one guy might be different than how you play for another guy. And it is what it is. I will say this. I had a lot of belief that we were going to be more competitive.
Me too.
Because I thought that defense was going to be similar. And like as you saw, right, like somewhere like mid-season, like we had to go back to zero because we were not being able to create any pressure organically. And once we went back to zero, we saw a little bit more aggression and stuff like that. But anyone will tell you, eventually you will get beat on that zero, and teams will figure it out and find it out. And I think there was a game like where, oh my gosh, who just did, like they just started hitting like us with quick outside screens and just, you know, running it up because there was nobody outside of that. Like you got a small cornerback and a big wide receiver like blocking. Well, the cornerback is going to lose 100% of the time, and all your safeties are already up. So Lord help you with that. So I'm glad we don't see the zero as much as we do. I think once teams figured it out, it kind of showed that we were more gimmicky than anything. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful. It got us a lot of wins. I remember it was funny. So this isn't even Boyer's year. This was Flores' last season. You remember the game where we played Baltimore and Tua came in and we won?
Of course.
And like the zero came in, like Lamar knew nothing to do, had nothing to do about it. Like he had no answers. It was funny because I had a conversation with my dad like right before the game because he actually went down to Florida for that game. He says, we're gonna win that game. I'm like, what? He's like, we're gonna win. I said, he's like, I don't know how, but we're gonna win. And lo and behold, we show Lamar something that he doesn't have necessarily an answer for at the beginning, and it is what it is. But I mean, you see some teams running it now, and it seems like, you know, Dolphins do pioneer in certain things, but it wasn't it. And that's what it is. Like when you don't have all your personnel out there or the best personnel out there, it's going to look like that. But that's why I'm truly appreciative of what Greer did, going out and, you know, trying to get, you know, linebackers that are quick, fast, ball hawks, and have great instincts, right? You need that. Like so many times we're like, Jerome, bro, wrong gap, wrong hole. Like it is what it is. And I'm not sad that Jerome is gone. I'm not sad that I'll say this. I'm not sad that we lost any of the players that we lost so far. I think it's sometimes you have to evolve. But for Josh Boyer, it is what it is. I think he was kind of thrown into a messed up situation, is what I'll say.
Yeah, no doubt. So we have 2 awards. One for the offense, one for the defense. No, 2 for offense, 2 for defense. We have the MVP for the offense and the participation trophy for the offense, and vice versa for defense. Who gets the offensive MVP and who gets the offensive participation trophy?
Offensive MVP goes to Raheem Mostert because we were obviously a different team when he was not playing. And I think, like, you know, I love the run game, and having a guy out there like that, I kind of thought we had a chance when, you know, when I knew he was coming back for the Chiefs game. I was kind of excited about that, but then I had to realize like this is still a man playing through an injury, and that was tough. That playoff game was tough. I think had our running back been healthy, we would have found a way. I mean, it's hard to say that against Mahomes because Mahomes always finds a way, but I feel like we put up more than 7. The way that he's able to carry the rock, and you have to be, you know, complete honest. Like we're doing, you know, gimmick, fake. Oh my gosh. Fake handoff, pitch back to the other side. Then teams start saying, you know what, crash down the linebackers, take away that. You need someone who you can just hand the ball off to that's going to hit the hole and get you the yardage that you need. So I think without a shadow of a doubt, Raheem Mostert was our MVP. And, that, you know, Tua is, you know, second. Just got to put it out there. Tua second. Participation trophy. Okay. No disrespect. No disrespect to anyone.
No
but
doubt.
I think when you pay a player to come, whether it's first, second, third option, and like you're brought in, again, you might not get necessarily the targets, but when we need you, we need you. I never felt the impact of Cedric Wilson. And that's sad to say, right? Comes over from the Cowboys, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a nice 2 option." Oh, Miami Dolphins trade for Tyreek Hill. Now I'm a 3rd option. And I don't think he ever lived up to the billing. And I didn't see one single fan lament the fact that Cedric was gone, and the fact that we got to upgrade at that position is truly wonderful. So participation trophy, I'm not going to give it to anyone on the O line because they all had to work their behinds off, move across, and fill in for spots. All of our running back room was solid, wide receiving core. So I gotta single that out. So Cedric Wilson, at least River Craycraft in like the first game gave us a touchdown. You feel me? Cedric later, cool, but for what he was getting paid and what we expected, I kind of maybe had a little bit more expectation. He just never made his presence felt in Miami. So I'm gonna go with that one.
All right, defense MVP participation trophy.
Our MVP is Jalen Phillips. And I remember, sorry, because now I have to replay the season in my head. And that was at the MetLife takeover, which is crazy. Not like this, not like this. Those words still ring true in my head. Not like this, man. Jalen Phillips was our MVP. Once we lost our pass rushers and him being like, the first domino to fall, it really did change a lot. And I think that's why, for me, this season and how it ended, I understand it. Like, you don't like it, but I understand it, right? When you put everything together, I understand it. Participation trophy on the defense. Man, see, I don't want to be disrespectful to any of the guys.
No, you're not being disrespectful. Just
Okay. Let me do a process of elimination. Tyler good, Chris
Can
was
I give you
good.
how about Eli
Bradley, not
Apple?
nah, y'all. I'm gonna come up with my own. Bradley was good.
Okay.
Jalen was good. Holland when he was out there was good. Jalen when he was out there, good. X when he was out there. Man, we really could have did something with that defense if he were healthy. David Long. Man, listen. I'm gonna call it what it is. I would say if we're just going starters, if we're going like out of the 11, and it hurts me to say this, I guess I would. I mean, I don't want to give participation trophy to anyone, but if I had to, no, because that man, listen, even though he was getting beat, he was trying his hardest. Like he was trying. Cater was trying. I don't honestly. I don't want to disrespect any of those guys. I really don't. Raekwon. There we go. He's not a starter, but let's go. Let's go, Raekwon.
Raekwon Davis.
Yeah, you got me saying a Bama player, which is sad. Let's go. Let's go. Not. I mean, I would say the potential that he had, especially coming from, especially from one of his production while he was at Bama, and then being able to come in here, maybe like in a relief spot, when the offensive line is, tired out, like they got to play every single down. You're not switching out offensive linemen. Raekwon. But I think Raekwon did his job. I just would have liked more efficiency from him, is what I'll say. But I don't want to disrespect any defense players. They all kind of had to do what they had to do. So yeah, let's just go with Raekwon since I gotta give a name. You with me?
Yeah, feel you. Give me a second.
I said, are you with me? Are you with me? You still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I have a surprise for you. So
You have a surprise from. I'm scared.
no, it's a good surprise. But go ahead.
Okay, okay. Nah, I think I answered the question. I think
You
I
know
answered
me.
the question.
I'm not gonna. You know me. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
anyway,
got you. Push back. Yeah, I
so
got you.
all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot now.
Okay, let's do this.
So L.A. Chargers, San Diego Chargers, L.A. Chargers, L.A. Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. Now, if the Miami Dolphins was to become the Jersey Dolphins, would you still be a Dolphin fan?
Absolutely. It would be
Even if they
even
move,
better
let's say,
for
even
me.
if they moved to Texas,
Huh?
even if they moved to Texas and became the
I bleed aqua and orange so much. It wouldn't like they could put Miami in Australia. Like they could put the
Mhm.
Dolphins in Australia and I would still like when it comes to my sports team, like it's Real Madrid top. Like I am a big Real Madrid fan. And then like right there, like it's like skimming each other. Dolphins, like listen, I remember growing up, everyone would call me crazy. Like all like my friends and stuff in Jersey, because I would always say, listen, Dolphins are gonna win the division this year. We're going to the Super Bowl. I tell my dad that and he'd be like, be real, like nah. And I'll be like, nah, like we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out how to win the division this year, Dad. Like we're gonna beat Tom Brady, we're gonna do all this type of stuff. I have been like real deeply rooted, emotionally rooted fan for years. I was that excuse me, that fan that like I was there for 1 in 15. So um I'm gonna be there no matter what. That like the Miami Dolphins, everyone knows like you if you say anything about my team, I will tell you why your team sucks and have you not believing in your team. Like that's how, and I kind of had to do that. And that's like where my football knowledge came from because, you a Dolphins fan growing up when I was, you getting picked on, y'all suck and stuff like that. And I'd be like, y'all suck too. It's like, how we suck? Y'all were like, nah, who your team? And then I tell them how they sucked. And that's kind of what got me, deeper into the NFL and stuff, having to defend the Dolphins, even when they weren't the best. So yeah.
Can you remember the first game that kind of made you a Dolphin fan? Like, what was your first memories of you and your dad watching? Does any game stick out to you?
Wow, that's a deep question. Oh man, first game.
And I see him in the chat. If you have a memory, please put it in the chat. I would love to hear this.
Okay, are we talking about okay? Okay. Oh man, so sorry, Dad. I gotta do this. I gotta do this to you. I'm sorry. We were playing the Patriots. It had to be. See, I don't want to give out my age too much. I'll just say this: early, early 2000s, we were playing the Patriots. We were home, and we were up, and I'm like, Dad, we're gonna win this game. We're gonna win this game. He's like, no, we're not. And Tom Brady did it to us. I can't tell you the particular year. I just know it was early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And all I remember, and why I do kind of remember it, is my dad had the remote control in his hand, and we had a couch like on the
Uh-huh.
back wall, and he gets up and he just chucks it to the floor, like just like hard spike, Gronk spikes it to the floor. It's like, man, we blew that junk. And I'm like, still to this day, that rings in my ear because I had never seen my dad react. I'd never
That's
seen
what's
my
up.
dad react like that to a particular game. He probably knows what game I'm talking about. He could probably put it in there. I was still too young to remember the year. Like I'm still young at this point, but that reaction still lives with me to this day. And and I think that's probably where I probably got some of my microaggressions, because like I remember this Tennessee game when it hit me that we lost. I literally took my iPhone and I threw it right into the wall, and I was like, yeah, that was remnants of dear old dad. And I was mad. Like that's the only game that made me mad this year, is the Tennessee game. So when people try to bring it up, I like try not to talk about it, but
Yeah, they
yeah.
always talk about remember the Titans.
Oh, we definitely remember them. I mean, I definitely remember them. But yeah, I would have to say that game. My dad, my dad was that. I don't know. I don't think he's that fan anymore. He's much more, chill and calm. But like back then, yeah, there were some. You thought TD had a reaction to the Miami
Yeah.
Miracle? Man, listen, my dad, that has nothing on my dad's reaction to fourth quarter leads that we've blown throughout the year, throughout the early 2000s and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. But for me in particular, if I had to say like the first game that I truly, truly, truly remember, like I can replay it, um, it would have to be the one game we won in what, 07, 06, 07, 07. That was 07, right? Yeah.
If you haven't
That,
broken anything after Love United Roof, hell yeah, I've broken some things.
oh wow, Tony, what have you broken? But no, it would have to be that, because I had every fear in my being that we would be the first team to ever go undefeated and to never win a game in a season. And
No doubt.
when we scored that touchdown, I can still see it now. I remember just like screaming and like yelling, because I was like, that was probably up until recently the happiest I had been as a Dolphins fan. Like, and the fact that you're just happy that you won one game all season is kind of crazy, but it meant so much to me. So as a young Dolphin fan, that's probably the one. Yeah.
All right. How was what was your reaction of Hard Knocks? Did you enjoy it or did you think it was
Okay.
bad?
So I got to watch Hard Knocks with Miss Finn. We watched almost every episode together. Um, I liked it. I still have not watched the last episode. I cannot bring myself to watch the last episode of that season. I mean, I heard about it, but I can't bring myself to watch it. It was tough. I definitely enjoyed watching the episodes after a win. That might have been the game. um, but I will say this: one of the best parts, the best moments that I loved, and it was when Raheem went to Mike after the Tennessee game and says, "You got to give me the ball. Like, you got to give me the ball. Like, I got to run the ball." And week after that, we ran and we won. So yay, look at that. Running game actually does matter, even though they try to devalue the running back position. It is what it is. But I didn't like that my team was on it. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I did not like that we were on it. As soon as I found out that we were on it, I was 100% upset. I thought it was a distraction. As much as you try to say it's not, having to take time away to do those corny interviews, to have someone come into your house, um, to make it like, and to just have to be on, right? Like you should be focused about football right now, the game plan of this week. Now you got to take, I don't know how many takes, how many hours to run through this. It was cool seeing how they did the celebrations, like that was cool, but outside of that, I was very disappointed that the NFL would pick a team like Miami to be on Hard Knocks. But I'll say, you know what? At least we got it out the way early, so we shouldn't be on it this year. But I hated it for the team, and to me, I understand you got to sell and you got to put as much content out there as you can NFL, but I think honestly, it's super unnecessary. How many coaches are actually going to disclose the things that we actually want to hear and want to know, right? Because they know that the whole NFL is watching. So now they have to watch what they say, when they say it, how they say it. It's like, oh, so much respect for this team, yada, yada, yada. Like, bruh, you need to be talking about how you want to kick their teeth in, but now you can't say that because you don't want to give them extra motivation and saying, oh, did you see what they like? Nah, but it is what it is. I did not. It was it was cool, but I don't feel like it was necessary. Like you can
So,
leave the pageantry for someone else.
being that you're in Jersey, you have any game day foods that you like to have? That, you know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah,
good
my
game.
mom's cooking. It's Sunday. My
Oh
mom
yeah,
does
okay.
Sunday dinner.
What's
Like
your favorite thing that you like for her to cook? Like,
my real, it's my mom's cooking. um, okay, so I guess you just kind of got to go like back to what it is: the fried chicken, the macaroni and cheese, the cornbread.
oh
Um,
my God,
Yeah, like it's Sunday dinner, like in the truest like sense of Sunday dinner. Like, my mom love her to death.
does
While
she do
my
collard
dad,
greens?
yeah, listen, I'm telling y'all something for real.
Damn,
All my
I
all my
want some of
brother's
that then.
friends be trying to sneak over for plates on Sunday. Like all my friends try to get me to bring them plates. And it's crazy because she has this amazing ability to always have it done by halftime. So my dad and I, we come up from his man cave in the basement where we watch the game. It's an amazing man cave. We come up, we get our plates, we eat, and then we go back downstairs and she has no problem. She's watching the game upstairs through the kitchen, through the living room, because it's like an open concept, which is really beautiful. They have a very lovely home. Really love it. And it's funny because sometimes, like, if we watch it upstairs, she'll be like, y'all being too loud. And we're like, the game is on. Like, what do you expect for us? But she, my mom, like, she'll make one day she might make like some baked ziti, and we're just like, it's awesome. But my mom, no matter what she makes, it's it's a hit. And then you get a dessert afterwards. So even if the Dolphins lose, you can't be upset because mom might have some sweet potato pie. Her peach cobbler might be on deck. You feel me? That with some warm ice cream. I mean, like that warmed up with some ice cream. She might make a pound cake, or my mom used to make lemon meringue pies from scratch. So people get the wings and the pizza and all that. We get Sunday dinner in the truest fashion of it all, like candy yams, string beans, collard greens, cabbage. Sometimes she might even have done some black eyed peas or something like that for us. My mom, my mom's cooking is truly a treasure. I would not trade it for anything in this world. Like respectfully, like
Oh man.
bump y'all tailgate. Like I might be like, Mom, bring me a plate. Like no offense to people out there tailgating. It won't ever compare. That's what we have. Like we're not like we do. However, on the first game of the year, we have a party and everybody wears like their team jerseys and stuff. And luckily, my dad has always been blessed to provide the family with Sunday tickets so everybody can watch their teams play, and we just have a good time. And for that, she cooks a little bit, but we do order some things. It's kind of like a mix of that, it's like a pre Super Bowl party on the first week. So that's why it's typically hard for me to come to games week one, which I won't be because I'm not. I'd rather go to week two, but yeah, that's my game name food. My mom's whatever my mom made for Sunday dinner.
But so check this out. I grew up in Carroll City. I'm Cuban, obviously, but
You Cuban,
uh,
okay?
I have two of my uh brothers. I say the difference between family is relatives. You are related. Family, you know what I'm saying, is there's a difference between relatives and family, and both those dudes Roderick and Joe were my best friends, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I love them like blood brothers.
Right.
And they're both of them were black, and their families adopted me in.
Okay, cool.
And man, when they had cookouts, oh my god!
Yeah,
And
you know what?
I mean, they were cooking the exact thing your mom. And you know what's funny? One of them had a rule for me. Like, listen,
Oh,
because I could eat a lot. They're like, listen, nope, you're not getting any food. Like, wait till everybody gets a plate, and then you can have at whatever is left over. So I'm like, okay, I wait my turn. So once everybody got a plate, man, oh
mm,
man,
you mess it up.
the mac and cheese, the kind that was baked in the oven. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
The
that's how my mom do it. Yeah.
the, the turkey, collard greens. My favorite is with the turkey necks. I don't care about. I don't. The ham
How
hocks are
about turkey
good, but
necks?
the turkey necks are the best.
Okay. How
And
about
of
that,
course, the
Jay?
cornbread. I like the corn muffins instead of the cornbread.
Like the Jiffy?
Huh? Yeah,
Like
like the
Jiffy?
muffin. Yeah, I don't like the
Yeah, okay, I
cornbread.
got you.
There's two types. There's one that's like round edge, and then there's the
Yeah,
square ones.
got you.
I
I
like the
got you.
round ones better.
Okay. Um.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So, all right, let's do the duo game real quick. We
Okay.
have 5
Duo.
duos. You
5.
have Ricky and Ronnie,
Ricky and Ronnie.
the Marx Brothers,
Okay.
Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, and wait, hold on. Oh yeah, uh, Dwight Stevenson and Richmond Webb. You could put one of these two duos on next year's team. Who would they be?
Okay. I'm going Dwight Stevenson and Richmond Webb. Do you need to know why?
Mm-hmm.
One, because we need a center, right? That's probably one of the most important positions on the line. Like he has to, get the ball to the quarterback, and why not have a Hall of Fame center? Shout out to him. And then you're giving me the option of having a future Hall of Fame tackle and Richmond Webb and what he was able to do for Dan. Like, are you kidding me? Give me that. Like our offensive line, like what do people talk about right now? Like what are we lamenting about so much is our offensive line and what it's going to be. Just them and bringing the toughness that they have and that physicality, they'll shape everyone else up. And you can tell me I can possibly move Teron inside and I can move Austin inside. Well, no, you keep Austin outside. You move Teron inside, have Rich on the outside because I'm not taking Rich from the outside. No offense, Teron. I need a more reliable guy out there. I'm not trying to keep. We can switch out the guard. We've been doing it all for the last 6+ years. It's okay. It's a lot of trauma. And then I guess I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess we still got a right guard problem. That's kind of crazy how that worked out. We still got a problem there. But yeah, I think if you give Tua, people lament, oh, Tua doesn't read defenses, even though he does, or Tua gets the ball out too quick, and we want to see him hold on to it and get back to the fifth option that's open underneath. Like, okay, I guess people don't understand game speed, but that's between them and Jesus. Give me those guys because it would. I think that part, having Raheem and Achan and Jalen running behind that O line, that's how you solidify that offense. And no pressure, moving guys off their spot. Yeah, that actually kind of made me smile, like thinking about like the kind of like offense we would be able to run. And no disrespect to the other duos because they're
Yeah,
all
no doubt.
phenomenal answers and choices and stuff. Like I'm more inclined to naturally say Zach and Jason because I actually seen those guys play, but understanding the importance of the trenches a lot more now, especially underneath the tutelage of EM Dolphin fans. Shout out to him. Um, we gotta secure those trenches, and that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with my O line.
By the way,
Gotta protect my guy.
Lewis wants to know who this EM guy is.
Ian, yo, little tidbit about Ian, because a lot of people, don't give him a fair shake.
I do. I
Ian,
think I call him the Texas Tornado. He's a legend.
Ian, he gave me some of the best advice. And when he gave it to me, I didn't like the way it was delivered. Like I'll be honest, if you watch the Tuesday night panels, you kind of know where I'm going at with this. He's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
not verbatim, but he said you need to sit down and listen. And I was like, and it sparked. Like it was like we had to cancel the show. I'm mad, I'm upset. But I realized as I listened more, I learned more. And I wasn't just from listening to him, it was listening to people who understood the game a lot more, who had the knowledge of it, who had more in-depth analysis of it and stuff like that. So Ian, he's been nothing but a great mentor.
Yeah.
Anytime I have questions, he's answering it. Anything I want to know about, he's what's his name, and he's one of the people that's kind of kept me in the loop of the Dolphin YouTubers and stuff like that. And what's his name? He would not allow me to just go into the shadows quietly. He's been one of those people that's always been like, stick around, just listen to this. Like, hey, you went in on this conversation. That's stuff like that. So, and
No doubt.
he is a great dude. You may not like how he talked to you, but he's a person you want in your corner, and he's like someone you want access to because he's in the room where it happens more often than not. So yeah, that's who. Let me stop.
Yeah, no. One of the things that I liked about EM is he said, I'll never forget. I was listening to the roundtables on. I'm not round the Tuesday night panels, whatever.
Yeah.
And one time he said, if you, this is one of the sayings that I heard from Gandhi. Gandhi said this, and I took it to heart. This was a long time ago. Like I want to say, I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I read this saying that said, if you open your mouth, you only speak what you know. But if you close your ears, you might learn something new.
If you open your ears, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he said it, of course, he said it differently, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh
The message
yeah,
is still
yeah.
the
I can
same.
only imagine the ferocity that he said it with. But you know what? For what it's worth, those roundtables were absolutely groundbreaking for me. And I learned so much from every single person on there. So flowers to Reason, EM, Mr. Ballgame, and TD because they never gave me slack because I was a girl. You feel me? It was
Yeah.
like, if that's not right, it's not right. And you want to talk about like, I don't want to say the anxiety, but when we kind of knew what we were going to discuss, the amount of time, like y'all want to know like why y'all liked me so, it's because I had to keep up with those giants. You feel me? And I did not want to make myself nor my dad nor TD, because I was kind of a representation of him, like attached to him at the time, bad. And I mean, like, soon as I would get done from work, I'm on my laptop, I'm on my phone, I'm writing things down. And that's how I got to it. And it taught me to think creatively, critically, and analytically all at the same time. Because one thing that I've learned in this is that a lot of the times we can be all saying the same thing, but because we're saying it differently, now we're arguing. And like when I went back and like I would realize that, I'd be like, God, they just didn't like the way I said it. Like, it's okay. Like, there were certain things we didn't agree on and we had different feelings about, like, obviously. But even when I listen now to like spaces and other panels and stuff, and then like they be like, yo, I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm like, bruh, someone's listening. Like someone's listening. When you're normally shouting and screaming at each other, sometimes you're not listening. But there's always that one person who's like, oh yeah, and like I would always try to like, come in and be like, hey, listen, guys, you're saying this, we're saying this. It is like that. So yeah, shout out to the Tuesday night panels.
Yeah,
That
no
was a
doubt.
time to be alive. That was a time to be
I
alive.
mean, that was like that was lightning in a bottle. That I don't think. And the thing about uh, the the Tuesday night panels, it happened organically.
Hmm. Yeah, we didn't know each other. Like none of us knew each other, had ever met, had any, like TFTG, right? You guys all, I think you guys for the most part know each other, or some of you guys know each other, and I love TFTG. I love when you guys, would do your panels and stuff like that. When Cap and you guys came on the scene, I was like, yo, like that chemistry there is like that's going to be great. And then everyone having their shows throughout the days and the weeks, absolutely loved it 100%. That Tuesday night panel, it was you had, and I think what kind of made it even more organic and what's the name? We were all trying to fix the Dolphin crisis that we were all going through. And when you have five passionate fans, as we all are, and you have that amount of knowledge, but also frustration from your team not living up to the billing, and you like it was bound to be explosive because we were all at different levels. We all had different like point of views. At that time, I was always trying to think of how the Dolphins are the best team, in the league, and how we're going to make the playoffs and stuff like that. And they were like, you might want to relook at this roster and hamper those expectations. But it is what it is. I'm thankful for it.
Well, it's kind of like with when I do a show with Crypto. You know what I'm saying? Me and Crypto, we hit it off when we do Insomnia,
Hmm.
or when I do a show with Larry K. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We just there's people that at the end of the day, look, chemistry, you can't fake chemistry.
Nope.
Just like with the every Tuesday morning, I love the chemistry you and Miss Fans have. You guys
Thank
are
you.
like the
That's
yin and the yang. She's I gotta say she's more of the I think she's the good cop. You're the good cop. She's the bad cop. Kind of deal.
Mhm.
You would say.
Nah. uh, I think what's crazy about that Tuesday show is that when
Mhm.
we go into it, it's literally just two friends talking about this team. It's not about necessarily being right. Like I feel like right then and there, like she's always organic and what's her name, but I kind of get her to get out of her shell sometimes. Like I'm like loosen up a little bit. And I said like one of the things that I want to do is bring back like the fandom, like the crazy fandom. Like no offense to anyone out there, but I'm hearing like a lot of lamenting and crying, and I'm like, man, it must not be fun to be a fan if like all you ever feel is such a heavy cloud. And I get why people feel it. And believe me, I felt it. But I went to the mindset, man, listen, this is a game. They're never going to hand me that trophy. I love this team and I'm going to cheer for this team. I'm going to root for this team. The results are going to be what the results are. It's
Yeah.
not in any way going to affect me because, man, listen, I used to troll people. You feel me? I used to get in the mud, sort of say. But now I'm on the mindset, man, listen, there's nothing that this team can do to make me want to say something sideways to someone, to say something
Yeah.
crazy to someone. You feel me? I really like when I think about what this team has given me, like I think of the positive things. Like think of all the positive relationships I've gotten out of this. The people that I've met, the experiences, going to the MetLife takeover. I was there at the game when Charles Clay dropped the touchdown in the end zone, like our first time being Josh Allen, and I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs. I don't.
I just
You're on mute.
sorry.
That's all right.
I'm not necessarily thinking of. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of necessarily the results and all that, because at the end of the day, I've had a fun time with this team, and I've had a fun time meeting the people that I meet. And personally, I think the spaces are super chaotic, but I love it. Like it is like a little quiet passion of mine, like listening to y'all go. And I'm like, look at y'all go, look at y'all go. That's cute, but like I see
chaos.
the friendship that was like the friendship that and the bonds and the brotherhood that has been built throughout this, right? Like this team has given us these type of things, man. So,
well, if I say too, look, last year, if they asked me what was the best thing about last year, look, I'm just gonna look at this.
Shout out to you didn't pitch all fans. Shout out to Chef Jew in the building.
Look at that, KP, Andrevius,
Andrevius,
Dolph Freaky, Miss Pam. This was the Germany game.
You went to Germany?
And my favorite picture last year was at Dolph Freaky's watch party. I got to meet Zach Thomas.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So like that, like out of all the people, like all the players that you can meet, like was Zach Thomas like on that list? He had to be on that list, right?
Yeah.
I've never met a Dolphins player in my life. I've never met one.
And as a matter of fact, the first loss I met Zach Thomas, and the second loss I got a picture with OJ McDuffie. So
that's nice. I mean, not the losses, but getting to meet those people and getting the pictures of those people. To me, that's what it's all about, Yeah.
No doubt. So, all right, before we wrap this up, and once again, I appreciate you for giving me your time. Absolutely. This episode was gold. I can't wait to listen to the replay.
Thank you.
Because that's what my Friday morning traditions are. After I do this, I listen to the replays. All my guests were special because what I'm saying, if it wasn't for you guys, go Heat. If it wasn't for you guys, I want to have this episode, the show. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna do 2 Mount Rushmores. Being that running back is your favorite position, I want your Mount Rushmore of running backs all time.
Man, you're gonna get me killed because I know my dad's listening to this, and if I'm not right, I'm gonna be getting a very nice call. Okay. So just of all time, like
yeah, for you, you're Mount Rushmore of running backs.
Okay. Obviously, you got to put Barry on there, and can I limit this to like running backs that I've seen?
Yeah, whatever. It's your Mount Rushmore.
Because I don't want to get pipped. I don't want to get killed for this. Okay. Give me Barry. You gotta give me Emmett. Right?
No doubt.
I'm not gonna say that name, even though it is a good one. But I don't need that controversy. I'm trying to go back into like my dad's day, like guys he told me about, and I'm trying to pick one from them. And I know if I get this wrong, he's gonna kill me. Okay, we got Barry, we got Emmett.
No doubt.
I'm going to go. I'm gonna go with Jim. I go with Jim Brown. I mean, you could put so many others in there. I'm gonna go with Jim. And then to cap it off, if it's a running back that I would want, I'm not going to leave. There's so many, and I want to preface this. so many better running backs. So many. I could go Gale, right? I could damn, there has been a lot of good running backs.
By the way, forget. Listen, Toxic Tony, quit booing Emmitt Smith. You're with 2 phones. I got 3.
All right, listen. You gotta go. Wow, this is hilarious. Walter Payton, because it was literally just texted to me. So I guess I have to say it. I guess you gotta go.
Sweetness. Hell yeah, Walter Payton, sweetness.
Now people like when I say that I'm gonna just start getting things texted to me, I'm gonna get a call. Like, I'm not lying to you. I've just a list of running backs that I should have said before.
Uh-huh.
Listen, those are the guys that I liked and I enjoyed watching. The fact that I don't have a Dolphins running back on there is
You
uncanny.
can put Ricky. We could put Ricky on there as your honorable mention.
I think. Listen, you can put him on there, but I think as far as like the totality of body of work, I think Ricky
No,
was.
but I listen. I like your Mount Rushmore running back. You got Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith,
Mhm.
and Barry Sanders. I mean, you can't go wrong with that one. I love them all.
I think Ricky. Do y'all hear my phone going off? Like, I don't know if y'all hear that. It's going off because, like I said, I've gotten it wrong. Like, I am going to have a long discussion, probably a whole summer session of running backs. And that's the name that I was like that I controversially did not want to say. Like when you put up, 2,000 yards for the first time and you single-handedly carry your franchise, you should be on that Mount Rushmore. And I mean, you should not negate, like, you should not try to take someone off because of off the field things. But I'm just trying not to be controversial and, what's the name? But yeah. Yeah. And listen, I get a lot of people don't I get a lot of people don't like Emmett, but hey, that's your prerogative. I liked them. So I said
No doubt.
I tried to go with people that I seen. Like, for instance, right? I have never seen Walter Payton carry a ball. You feel me? Like, I've seen it on YouTube, but like the impact of the moment and stuff, like, I can't feel that. You feel me? And I get it. Like, there's like a generalized list, right? I got to see a little bit of Barry Sanders. Just like, yeah, I got to see a little bit of Barry Sanders, but I don't think there's anything wrong with my list. I kind of did Jim because of everything that encompassed him and how, like, with his off the field things that he got into, now allowing football to be bigger than who he was as a man, like his values and his morals and those core things.
Kind of like how Ali did
Obviously,
did
better
the
run
same with boxing.
than
Ali did the same thing with boxing.
huh?
Kind of like what Ali did with boxing.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And what he was in the moment, for those things. So, shout out to my weekend finally being gone. I will now be giving nothing but tape on running backs.
All right, hell yeah. I would like this. I would like the follow up on that then.
Yeah, ask me in September when the film sessions are over with. I'm pretty sure I will have a completely different list by then. That will be completely comprised solely by my father. But yeah, that's crazy.
That's what's up. All right, and now your Miami Dolphins Mount Rushmore.
Miami Dolphins Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna be controversial because
That's what's up.
people are not gonna like my list. And I hope they don't like it. I hope tomorrow on Spaces they rip it to shreds. You guys have the green light to do that, Lewis. Phinsanity 5 said what? Okay. First and foremost, I cannot leave Jason Taylor off my Can I get a break? Like, can I answer this? Jesus. Like,
Yeah, go for it.
no, they're like literally like texting me like, you better say this name, because my dad already knows that name that he just texted me. Like, he already knows. When I said I was gonna be controversial, he knew. Bruh, you know what? You know what? How about this? Because nope, we're about to just, and there we go. You can't text me anymore.
Put no do not disturb.
I just did. I literally just did. Okay. Full disclosure. Okay. We're going to go Jason. I better not say that. Bobby McCain. No, let me stop. Let me stop.
I know you love Bobby McCain. By the way, real quick, before you do get to that,
No,
who do you see on this team that's similar to your to Bobby McCain?
Yeah, if you know, you know, but no, not Bobby. Okay. You gotta
I'm saying,
go.
who do you see on this team that's similar to Bobby McCain?
Huh?
Who do you see on this team that's similar to Bobby McCain? Nobody? No? Okay. Continue.
I guess the closest would be Nick, because he's like in the Nick, and then now he's moving to safety. I guess if you want to go like with trajectory of like how the careers turned out, but and I mean, listen, there are players on this team. A lot of players, most of the players on this team, are better than Bobby McCain. So like, I don't want to disrespect Bobby or anyone on this team, but no, Jason, Dan. As much as I love him, and he was an error, I'm not going to put him on here. And that would be Ricky Williams, even though he is a great and he is a legend.
Okay, so Dan and Jason Taylor, good names, Hall of Famers.
I'm trying.
And it doesn't have to be coach. It could be coach. It could be owner.
Coach.
It doesn't matter. It's as long as they're associated with the Dolphins organization.
Associated with the Dolphins, so they have to be associated with the Dolphins.
Well, it's kind of like it could be the owners. It could be, you could put Stephen Ross. It could be a coach. You know what I mean?
TD the mascot, because he stayed loyal all this time. He didn't go back into the ocean in the years where we sucked. For being a true one. No. Okay, if we can do that, then because I'm listing all the names in our Ring of Honor, and I'm trying I'm really like that person that says not to disrespect anyone's career and the whole tutelage of what they did. Like, everyone was so amazing in what they did.
Well, that's why I see. That's the beauty of the Mount Rushmore. It's yours.
You gotta go. Okay, yep. You gotta go Dan. You gotta go JT. As far as like, if I could have one, you gotta go Zonka, because he had the Super Bowl performances and the MVPs. Shout out to Zonka still being one of the few left from the perfect season, right? With those men were able to accomplish. And then just give me Don. I'm gonna take the cop out with Don, even though he deserves to be on there. Obviously, the winningest coach, the winningest coach, most wins in NFL history. He has 2 Super Bowls, and what he was able to do with such a young team. Granted, it was a young NFL, but you cannot, what he was able to sustain through the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, dominance. You want to talk about why the Dolphins are one of the most winningest franchises, even after the dismal, decades that we've had. That's Don. That's all Don. We went through various owners, but Don remained. And we talk about finding the next Marino. We've been looking for a head coach since he's left, and those shoes, shout to your cat, have not been yet. So
she's a little pain in the ass. That's Lana.
Nah, cats are awesome. I like cats.
I got 2. I got Archer and Lana. Those are my cats.
Archer. Okay.
You ever seen the show Archer?
No, that's like an animation show, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's Archer and Lana.
I'm more into like comedies. I don't know if is Archer a comedy?
It's a comedy. It's kind of dumb humor.
Dumb humor.
I like dumb humor.
Okay, check back with me in October. By then, I will have watched it somehow, some way. But
it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. We'll chop it up.
All right.
I'll
That's what's up.
So yeah.
But so anyway, we about to close this thing up. Any final thoughts? And once again, I appreciate you. By the way, there's some people who want to see you backstage. So if you can hang
I'm
out for 1
if
minute.
I won the tickets to see somebody should have been watching 305 Sports Babes stream for me to see if I won those tickets. I don't know if I did or not. We'll find out in a little bit.
Okay, that's when are you supposed to go on there?
I'm not supposed to go on there. She's just doing the drawing for the winner tonight. But I'm sure her shows has ended now, so I could probably just try to fast forward to that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure, very even if I don't win, a deserving fan definitely won. So either way, okay. So final remarks. First and foremost, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here.
Me too.
Shout out to my dad and my mom listening in the chat. I want to thank TD for giving me a platform. I want to thank EM for sharing his knowledge with me. I want to thank Miss Fins for always being a consistent friend. Thank you, Lewis, for the shout out to coming on the show. I had such an amazing time, so much fun. Shout out to all the people in the Twitter spaces. You're very entertaining. And for the most part, I think that wraps it up. I'm looking forward to the season. I'm very excited about it. And I really hope that I get to meet, some of you guys. It's something that I've been, cautiously against. But I guess I will see some of you guys at the MetLife Takeover, and I'll be at the Houston game. So if you see me, hi. If not, then hey, maybe another time. But just make sure everyone, you stay safe. And yeah, just God bless you all. To be honest, just God bless you all, and
Same here.
have a wonderful evening, day, and hopefully a life.
No doubt. And I just want to, number one, thank you for being on here. And number two, thank you for being an ambassador for the fan base, because at the end of the day, not all, it's like when people see you, it's like, what I'm saying, you're a good young lady, and people should be proud of you, but what you, the job that you're doing, you and Miss Fins, you know what I'm saying? So no shot at the other women that are doing this, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that, the fact that you have integrity and speak with intelligence, and you know what I'm saying.
Thank
They
you.
don't think that Dolphin fans throw each other through tables and set them on fire like Bills. But
So like hot dogs and hamburgers at tailgates. If you know, you know.
and yeah, man. Hooked Up Joe says thank you, Hooked Up Joe, thank you, G, thank you, Michael K and
Oh,
Irving,
thank you
thank
for
you, Chef Drew, thank you for everybody who came in, kept the chat going, and listen, man, this show, I can't wait for season 3 to pop off. I'm gonna be in a new location, but in season 3, once season 2 wraps up, which is gonna be, listen, Larry Crypto is gonna do the second to last episode, then Larry K is gonna do the last episode. Once we do the last episode, that means preseason football is here.
Yo, I'm looking forward to that. Yo, can I honestly say that listening to all these fans talk about their experiences, it's really brought me back to what I first wanted, and that was just to talk to other Dolphin fans about my team. And that's one thing that I'll always will say is that, like, when people get done interacting with me, for the most part, I hope that I've left a positive impact. I don't know what, I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I was
No, he's saying that listen, everybody sounds more intelligent than me, so that you're not saying nothing groundbreaking, Michael K.
yeah, but oh, that's Michael K. Shout out to him.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
I want,
Everybody's
thank you for
listen.
those kind words. I really appreciate it. Like I try to be as positive, and I try to, and it's crazy because now I even have to preface like, hey, I'm just trying to have a conversation. I'm not trying to, but we live in crazy times. But I think winning again will definitely help a lot of that. But just remember, we all are all human, and we all have a soul, and don't lose your morality. your values and all that. Just
No doubt.
For a clip. And I mean, I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to preach to no choir or anything. I'm just trying to put some positivity back into this fan base when I do, because we all got an opinion, and it's all valuable.
But I appreciate. Listen, I really do appreciate this. I'm just hoping that EM would finally come on the blender.
Is he in the chat? EM, listen, I've done it. I finally, got turned around in the blender a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta come on, EM.
That's what's up.
You are an icon. You are an icon, and don't ever forget that. No matter what.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna end it on that one. EM, you're next, baby.
Can he say no? Can he say no to me? Can he say no to me? I don't think he can say no to me. So EM has
That's
to.
what's up.
EM has
Hell
to.
Yeah. But anyway, fins up, everybody.
Fins up.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.